Hi everyone. In this video we will study about different types of planing machine. So the planing machine, like a shaping machine, primarily intended to produce plain and flat surfaces by using a single point cutting tool. And a planer is a very large and massive compared to a shaper, and it is capable of machining heavy workpieces which cannot be accommodated on a shaping machine. And the fundamental difference between a shaper and a planer is that in a planer the work which is supported on the table reciprocates past the stationary cutting tool. Whereas in a shaper, the tool which is mounted upon the ram reciprocates. So, in case of a planer, the table will be reciprocating and the cutting tool will be stationary. In case of a shaper, the cutting tool is reciprocating on a ram and the workpiece is stationary. So, now we will study about the different types of planing machine. First one is double housing or standard planer. So, this is the most widely used type of planing machine, and it has a long heavy base on which the table reciprocates. So, the table reciprocates on the base, and the length of the bed is little over the twice the length of the table. The length of the bed is little over twice the length of the table. And here we have two vertical housings or columns or uprights, and the two housing are connected at the top for the rigidity of the machine. And the vertical faces of the housing are accurately machined so that the horizontal cross rail slides on this vertical housings. Then the tool head carrying the tools are mounted on this cross rail, and two other tool heads are mounted on vertical face of the housing. So we have a table, then two housings. The top of this housing are being connected by a cast iron member for rigidity. Then the front face of the housing, this is the front face of the housing on which the cross rail will be attached. So this is the cross rail. So here we have a tool head, here we have a tool head, and the cross rail also we have tool head. So the cross rail will be moving vertically, and this tool head on which the tool is attached can be moved vertically and horizontally. So the feed is being given. So this is the figure of a double housing planer machine. So this is the table. So this is the base. Then we have the workpiece. So on the table we have workpiece. Then we have two housings, and the two housings are being connected by using a cast iron member for rigidity, and the vertical faces of the housing are accurately machined so that the horizontal cross rail, this is the horizontal cross rail, slides upon it. So this is double housing planer machine. Now the second one is open side planer. So open side planer has a housing only on one side of the base, and the cross rail is suspended from the housing as a cantilever. So here we can accommodate large and wide workpieces on the table, and the housing is made extra massive to resist the forces. So in case of a double housing planer, the maximum width of the job which can be machined is limited by the distance between two housings. So here we have table on which the workpiece, then we have only one housing and the cross rail is suspended from the housing as a cantilever. So here we have two tool heads. So this is the cutting tool and here we have a tool head. So only three tool heads are mounted on this machine. And construction and driving features of the machine are same as that of a double housing planer. So this is all about open side planer. Now next one is pit planer. Pit planer. So this pit planer is massive in construction and it differs from an ordinary planer in that the table is stationary and the column carrying the cross rail reciprocates on massive horizontal rails mounted on both sides of the table. So here the table is stationary and the column carrying the cross rail reciprocates on massive horizontal rails mounted on both sides of the table. And the length of the bed required is little over the length of the table. And this type of planer is suitable for machining very large workpieces which cannot be accommodated on a standard planer, and the design saves much of floor space. So this is a pit. So here we have a table, then this is the table, then we have two housings, then on the vertical face we have a cross rail, on the cross rail we have tool head. So the table is accommodating on a pit. Now the fourth one is edge or plate planer. So this edge or plate planer is intended for squaring and beveling the edges of steel plates used for different pressure vessels and shipbuilding works. And the cutting tool is attached to a carriage which is supported on two horizontal ways of the planer on its front end. And the operator can stand on a platform extending from the carriage. And the carriage holding the tool reciprocates past the edge of the plate. So this is all about edge or plate planer. And the last one is divided table planer. So this type of planer has two tables on the bed which may be reciprocated separately or together. So this type of design saves much of idle time while setting the work. The setting up of a large number of identical workpieces on a planing machine table takes a long time. So to have continuous production, one of the table is used for setting up the work while the other reciprocates past the cutting tool finishing the work. So when the work on the second table is finished, it is stopped and finished jobs are removed. And fresh jobs are now set on this table while the first table holding the job now reciprocates past the tool. So here we have two tables. So this is the first table and this is the second table on the base. So this is all about different types of planing machine. Thank you.